I think the big breakthrough in West Coast rap was us just getting our own identity. I think that's the key to any hip-hop. You have to be about where you're from. You cannot be in the South trying to rap about New York.
We was just being us. That's how we dressed, this is how we looked, this is where we was from, and this is what was going on in our neighborhood. We was just hip-hopping, man, doing what we do.
There's more to take out of this than just the story of West Coast rap. It's a story of believing in yourself to make your dreams come true.
As you know, Duffy Hooks is the founding father of West Coast rap music, and I was his right-hand man. At that time, we didn't know he was making history. History's being made. Now it's time to tell the story. Now it's time for the rapper's rap story to come out. Now it's time for people to know the real truth of how West Coast rap was started and how the foundation was laid. Like MC FOSTY and Loving C, the first gangster rap duo ever that came out with radioactivity rap, you know, and later became famous when Snoop and Tupac did it. Cuz, blood, gang bangers, a host of crips and dope slangers. You got to have knowledge in this world. You might get your purse snatched before your eyes tore. You're doing your job every day, then you work so hard until your hair turned gray. See, that line was MC FOSTY and Loving C's line on radioactivity rap. And Snoop took it and blew it up way bigger. Mademoiselle Boogie Lace doing Fly Girl. UTFO had a song called Fly Girls. Mademoiselle Boogie Lace, the first female rapper on the West Coast, did her female version. #1 record, Bad Times, featuring Captain Rapper, produced by Mr. Rick CASON, who's deceased, but also the legendary Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. So see, that's just some of the history I'm going to share with y'all on Rappers Rap Disco and what we did and how it happened and how we set the tone for every rap label. We set the tone for McCullough Records, Priority Records. We set the tone for Death Row. We set the tone for Master P. We set the tone, you know, for Tony Draper. We set the tone for Sick Witted Records. We set the tone for Intermittent Records. We set the tone for Jason Elliott Blaine. We set the tone for Dangerous Music and Ronnie Phillips with the Bloods and Crips record. We set the tone for all those West Coast record labels that came after us. We set the tone for Easy Empire Records. We set the tone for Uncle Jam's Army. We set the tone. See, there had to be a first one, and thank God Almighty, we were the first. We will never be forgotten. We were forgotten because a lot of people didn't tell our story. A lot of people didn't know who we were because we kept it street. We never went corporate and we never sold out. Now is the time. We kept it real. We got people trying to silence us and bring us down because there were people that would build things on falsehood. But now the falsehood is now over because God is now shining His light on everything that's real. Because whatever's in the dark will come to the light. So how long can you keep a giant down? You can keep him sleeping, but let me tell you something. Rappers Rap was like a man among midgets and a giant among men.
There are always shoulders who you stand on, no matter how successful you are, unless you're the first. Everybody in the industry knows who the first was on the West Coast, and it's not to make a big thing about it. It's just to be recognized and be remembered, because I'll be gone, I have children, you know what I'm saying, that a lot of us who are out there will be gone. We want to be recognized, but some of us, some people know and some don't, so there's no resentment there at all. President Obama is the first black president. Any other black president behind him will stand on his shoulders. There's always shoulders to stand on, unless you're the first. Duffy had vision. You know, we both knew that this was going someplace if we did it right. This was the very first, this was the beginning of Rappers Rap. There were no rappers on Rappers Rap until he signed me. So we helped start the label. And again, the feeling amongst people in the industry, not only just radio jocks, but in the industry with other labels, that's why they didn't jump out and try to sign up rap groups, even though they saw the money Sylvia Robinson was making on the East Coast. They looked at New York as a very unique market where shit happens first all the time, but sometimes only makes money there. Okay, it's not going to sell in Kansas or Topeka, you dig what I'm saying, or at Peoria, as they say. Then they don't want to really, they want a broad thing, you know what I'm saying? So then they really had no respect for the West Coast. So the thing that we were was a mental thing that we were going to, Duffy and I were going again, not just trying to start a label, but the whole fact that the industry thought it was a fad, and that if you were going to start a label just based on rap and it wasn't in New York, that you were wasting money. King MC, DJ Flash, other people, Rappers Rap, could relate on a few years later, as far as when Duffy had a lot more rappers, and they could tell you the state of the industry, because it did change rapidly in a couple of years after they started playing West Coast rap. The industry did make its adjustments, so they have a story to tell where they can continue where I left off. Your Dr. Dre's, your NWAs, all, I mean, beautiful, talented people. Toddy T, Anybody who finally started making, even Snoop, which is almost 20 years later, and they know it, most of them, some of them do know it, but you'd be surprised there are a lot of rappers who are new to the game who really don't know the true history because we've never been able to tell our side of the story before, some of us who are still alive to tell the story. But there are some who were in that intermediate range who came and started making hits a few years, 85, 86 afterwards, who were familiar with Duffy and how hard he had started to sign up rap artists and start Rappers Rap record label, even in the atmosphere where people did not think rap was going to last.
We're continuing our search for the true history of West Coast rap.
I remember back in the day when Duffy sat back and said, man, I got a rapper. And I was like, who? And he was like, DJ Flash. And I was like, DJ Flash? And I couldn't know who he was. And then Duffy said, I got a surprise. And all of a sudden, here come this white boy with this long hair, and I'm thinking he's a hippie or guitarist. He's not a rapper. Duffy was like, yes, he is. Duffy just sat back, and I looked at this rapper, and I was like, man, he got long hair. He looked like a rock star instead of a rapper. But then Duffy was a visionary. And so DJ Flash was the very first white rapper ever before the Eminem, before the Beastie Boys. He was the first one.
We left from New York, and we came to California. When we got here, everybody really wasn't into rap. So what kind of music is this? You know, they heard about the song like Rapper's Delight, but Duffy started going around looking for rappers in the West Coast, and then that's when he hooked up with Disco Daddy and Captain Rap.
The way we rap, the lyrics that we rap, the music that we rap to, was all controlled by Duffy Hooks. Nobody really knows this story because when you watch things like VH1 Hip Hop Honors, they recognize the pioneers of West Coast rap as people like NWA, you know, Ice Cube, and you know, that's far from the truth.
This is where Duffy's vision was. Everybody at that time, 1980, 81, looked at rap as a fad. Nobody actually thought rap was going to evolve into an art form and get as big as it was now, even the people involved.
The name of the record label was Rappers Rap Records.
You didn't have to be able to sing like Luther Vandross or anything to get a recording contract.
The guy that owned the record company, his name was Duffy Hooks.
This is a legend right here. This is Mr. Michael Hooks. We're up here at the Urban Network Summit 2009, and we're going to do an interview with Mr. Hooks.
All the industry big people, all your entertainment lawyers, the people at the record stations, the people at the record labels. We're trying to do some big things here. We've got some ideas and some dreams that range from Hip Hop Awards, which should by rights be here in LA, to World Hip Hop Hall of Fame here for the West Coast rappers and the people who have contributed to the world of rap from the West Coast. And they're all talented, a lot of talented people out there, more than I could even think of to try to name. And I love all forms of rap because each is an expression of that person or that rapper's experience. You see what I'm saying? Rap is a music form of endless creativity, so there's no East Coast or West Coast, and never has been to me, because I mean in the South when they come out, everything is different and creative, and I say, wow, that's a new twist on something that I remember was used to be just shake your booty, party down. So come on out, try to keep this spirit alive. Let's make sure that there are generations from now who can look back on the total history of West and East and put of West Coast and East Coast rap and hip hop and put that into perspective, collective history, by rewarding those people here who continue to keep rap alive and those who began it. Come on out, help us with your contributions, your ideas, your experience. We need you because we're trying to do some things that we cannot pull off ourselves. But then again, we came from a time and from a record label where we had to do everything script by scrap. So if we have to, we'll do it that way, but we really need your help. I want to thank everybody around the world checking out the videos on YouTube, the original Disco Daddy, Rappers Rap record company, and supporting us and feeling the love that you guys have been sending us from all over the world as the original West Coast people who started rap. I want to send some love back.
What's up, y'all? This is your boy King MC, man. I want to thank each and every one of you viewers out there for checking out the true story of West Coast hip hop. And I want you to continue to come back to the website and check out the rest of the story.
We're continuing our search for the true history of West Coast rap. The true history of West Coast rap.